Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now, your #1 source for tips, tricks, and everything you need to know for Fantasy Premier League football. Today we're going to be going over some of the best goalkeeper options for your Game Week 8 wildcard. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and crush 20 likes today. Leave a comment who are you having between the sticks going into Game Week 8. Subscribe if you're brand new. Let's get into the video. So, starting things off, as I've done already this week, going over the best forwards, midfielders, and defenders, I feel like it's only fair to go over some of the best goalkeepers for a wild card this week. Or if you've got a free transfer and your team's absolutely fine, take a look at some of these goalkeepers, because some of them are really cheap and have really good fixtures, and then some just have incredible stats, which mean that they should be getting a lot more clean sheets. And one of those players is Mendy. Of course, quite an expensive goalkeeper, coming in at 6 mil. But if you are on a wild card, you have a little bit of money left over from maybe you're selling Trent and you're not bringing him back in, or I don't know, maybe you've downgraded from Ronaldo into Lukaku, so it's giving you a few more funds. Mendy is a very, very good option to bring in. So he's played 6 games so far this season. He hasn't played 7 because I think he was injured for one of them, but obviously he's back now. He's only conceded 3 goals so far, and his PSXG, so basically if you don't know what that is, if that is higher than the goals that the goalkeeper has conceded, it's good. You don't want a goalkeeper to concede more than their PSXG. If it's lower, it means you've got a pretty good #1. And Mendy's is lower by 1.3, which is obviously very, very good. He's taken on 20 shots so far this season and has a save percentage of 95%. So Chelsea have a pretty good goalkeeper as their #1. And plus they've had some pretty tough fixtures as well, the likes of Man City. But now they have a really, really good run of fixtures. Brentford away, Norwich at home, Newcastle away, Burnley at home, and Leicester away. I could see Mendy keeping like 4 clean sheets in those games out of the 5. Like, he might concede to Brentford, he might concede to Leicester, could potentially concede to Newcastle, but I cannot see Chelsea conceding to Norwich and Burnley, both of which are being played at Stamford Bridge. I think Mendy is just a really, really good option. Like I say, he is quite expensive, so you might not be able to afford him. But you might not be bringing in a Chelsea defender, so instead of that, you might be bringing in Mendy instead. Either way, he's a really, really good option if you do have some extra funds just lying around. Next up, we have the Brentford goalkeeper, Raya, who, of course, has taken the Premier League by storm. Brentford are really, really fun to watch. Very, very solid at the back. And plus, they had quite a tough start to the season, and they're still, like, pretty high in the table, which is kind of mad for a newly promoted team. So Raya is, of course, their #1, and he's played 7 games so far. He's obviously played every single game. He's conceded 6 goals. His PSXG is 6.5, so that is higher than the goals that he's conceded, which is good. Even though it's only by 0.5, it is still really, really good that it is higher. He's taken on 22 shots so far this season, and his save percentage is 72.7%. But you have to remember that Brentford has taken on some pretty tough teams, like the likes of Liverpool, obviously conceding like 3 in that game, which wasn't great, which is why his goals against are so bad. Is because before that game he obviously had a really, really good PSXG and really good goals against and stuff, but Liverpool scoring 3 obviously hurt Brentford. But either way, that's fine, because they've got some really, really good fixtures coming up, apart from the Chelsea game. Chelsea at home is going to be tough. Like, if you're bringing Raya in on your wildcard this week, I wouldn't expect him to get you too many points. But after Chelsea at home, they've got Leicester at home, Burnley away, Norwich at home, Newcastle away, and I think they've got another good fixture in Game Week 13 as well. So he has some really, really nice fixtures over the course of the next like 5 or 6 game weeks, barring Chelsea at home. And with how good Brentford have been at the back, I think that Raya is a really, really good option. And one of the best things about this guy is he's only 4.6 mil. So you really don't have to break the bank to bring him in. So I think he's a really good option. I'm definitely looking at Brentford players around Game Week 9, 10. Maybe the likes of centre-back, or I'm definitely bringing in Tony, because I think he's just, those fixtures just so good to target. And with a player like Tony, he's only like 6.4 mil, so very, very cheap to bring in as well. But if you're thinking about defence and you don't want to bring in a centre-back or a full-back or anything like that, Raya is a really, really good option. And again, his goals against is only so bad because he's just conceded 3 against Liverpool, which at the end of the day, it's Liverpool, so they're going to concede. Like, he's probably going to concede like 2 or 3 against Chelsea as well. But after that, you're looking good with Raya in your team. Next up, we have Ben Foster. Now, of course, he is not the guaranteed #1. He is their #2, but with their actual #1 being injured for 3 to 4 months, pretty much every man and his dog is bringing Ben Foster in on their wild card. And why wouldn't you? He's only 4 mil and he's playing every game now for the next 3 to 4 months. So he's just a really, really good backup keeper to have. If you have like your number, maybe like you got Raya or something and your number one choice has just got a really bad fixture like Chelsea or something, you could then play Foster instead and just mix and match with goalkeepers. It is always a little bit risky playing with 2 different goalkeepers, because I think last season I had Martinez obviously, and I think I also had the Southampton keeper McCarthy, and some of the game weeks I played McCarthy over Martinez, and Martinez just popped off some game weeks and got like double digits, and McCarthy got like 3 or something. So it does hurt having 2 goalkeepers. It is a little bit risky. You can accidentally play the wrong one, but I don't understand why you wouldn't bring Foster in anyway, because it's just another goalkeeper that plays, and he's a good goalkeeper as well as being a top lad. He is a good goalkeeper as well. He's played 3 games so far this season. He's conceded 3. His PSXG is of course lower than his goals against, which isn't exactly ideal. He's faced 13 shots on target, but his save percentage is 76.9%. He has made some really, really good saves so far this season. The only bad thing about Ben Foster at the moment is his fixture run, which is Liverpool at home, Everton away, Southampton at home, Arsenal away, and then Man United at home. It's not great. It's not the perfect fixture run, but you're not bringing Ben Foster in to be your number 1 goalkeeper. You're bringing him in to be a backup. So that's why he's on today's list, just simply because he's very, very cheap. He's nailed for the moment for the next 3 to 4 months. Unless Ranieri brings in like their other goalkeeper or whatever, which I can't see happening. So yeah, he's not like being brought in to be, you know, your number 1 choice. So I mean, if you're on your wild card or you have a free transfer and your team's perfect already, probably bring Ben Foster in just because he's an extra goalkeeper. It doesn't hurt to have more players that play. That's all I'm trying to say. So yeah, if you're on your wild card, there's no reason not to bring him in. He's 4 mil, so he's literally the cheapest that he can be, and he's playing. So bring him in. Next up, we have Jose Sarr, the Wolves goalkeeper, who of course got a really, really good haul a couple of weeks ago, getting an assist for Jimenez's goal, as well as that. I think he saved like 7 shots or something like that, and he got like 3 bonus. I think he walked away with like 14 points. He had a really, really good game, but he's still got a really good fixture run coming up. We've had a look at Wolves players like Marcel, Semedo, Jimenez, Sarr, Hwang. We know that their fixtures are pretty good, but this time we're taking a look at the goalkeeper. So he's played 7 games so far. He's conceded 6 goals, but his PSXG is 7.4. So as you can see, his goals against is 1.4 under that, which is really, really good. He's faced 25 shots on target, or shots at him, and he's saved 84% of those shots. So very, very nice kind of stats there for this goalkeeper. And as I said previously, they've got some nice fixtures coming up. Aston Villa away, Leeds away, Everton at home, Crystal Palace away, West Ham United at home, but then they still have good fixtures after that as well, up until game week 14 or 15, I think. So yeah, if you brought in like Sarr and then Foster as well at the same time, I think when Sarr's fixtures go bad, I think Watford's go good again, so you could easily just play Ben Foster in those games if you really wanted to. But Wolves have actually just been really, really solid at the back. I think they're one of the best defenses in the league this season, stats-wise. So yeah, he is 5 mil, so a little bit more expensive than the likes of Raya, Ben Foster, and players like that. But he should reward you with a few clean sheets over the next few game weeks at least. And again, you can hold him until like game week 14, 15 or whatever, because Wolves fixtures are just really good. I think they've got like Norwich or something after West Ham or Burnley. It's just another good fixture. And then finishing things off, we have Aaron Ramsdale, which again is another player that a lot of people are bringing in. I don't have Sanchez on today's list because a lot of people already have him. Yes, he's got a really good fixture against Norwich in game week 8, but then after that it's like Man City, then Liverpool. I just think there's better goalkeepers that you could bring in that are around the same price. Sanchez isn't a bad option at all. Brighton's defense has been really, really good as well, but the fixtures just aren't that good over the next like 4 or 5 game weeks, and like I say, there's players like Ramsdale who's the same price, which have much better fixtures. So as we all know now, Ramsdale seems to have made his way into Arsenal's #1 slot, and with good reason as well. He's played 4 games and he's only conceded 1 goal, which is of course the goal that they conceded against Tottenham. His PSXG is 1.8, so 0.8 higher than the goals that he's conceded. He's faced 10 shots on target, or 10 shots at him this so far this season, and his save percentage is 90%. So that's really, really good. He's a really good goalkeeper. Like just some of the saves that he's been made, like in the North London derby when he like tipped it onto the crossbar, or tipped it over from like point blank range, was just a really good save. He is a really good goalkeeper, and he's 4.6 4.6 mil, and he seems to be nailed as their number one. He seems to have pushed Leno to the bench, and again, he's very, very cheap, only at 4.6 mil. He's got some nice fixtures coming up. Game week 8, they're at home to Crystal Palace. So yeah, Sanchez has Norwich away, but Crystal Palace at home is still a really, really good fixture. And Arsenal seem to have tightened it up at the back a little bit now as well. I don't think they have any injury worries either, apart from Xhaka. Then they've got Aston Villa at home, which again is another pretty good fixture. Leicester away, then Watford at home, and then Liverpool away. But I think after Liverpool away, they've got a few more good fixtures as well. So I think that Ramsdale is a really, really good option, better than Sanchez. If I was on a wild card, I would probably bring in Foster and Raya, just because Foster, again, we've already spoken about how he's just a cheap option, and then Raya, I just think that Brentford are really, really good at the back, and he's only 4.6. And again, after the Chelsea fixture, like, you're gonna have to take a bit of a maybe a 1 point or a 2 point, or you never know, maybe Brentford win that game and it just surprises everyone. But then after that, Leicester, Burnley, Norwich, Newcastle, I think are just really, really good fixtures. But again, Ramsdale is another really good option. There's some really good options going around for your wildcard this week for goalkeepers, so it is a bit of a tough choice. But either way, that is going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 20 likes. Leave a comment. Who are you bringing in this week for your goalkeeper if you want your wild card? Or if you're not on your wild card, who is your goalkeeper? Let me know. Subscribe if you're brand new. We're trying to hit 200 subs by game week 10. We're getting closer and closer every day. But that's everything from me. So have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.